episode of Retroholics. So Retroholics is a show where we take a road down nostalgia. Sometimes looking at our childhood, sometimes delving into things that we didn't know about, but it's all about the feels. And I am Free Thought.
I am Ryan Skillett, and we have a special guest with us today.
Oh yeah,
my man Marvyn. Thank you very much. That was terrible.
That was terrible. We'll do it again because also flows, isn't it?
How are you, Marvyn? He's a podcaster himself. Talk Amongst Yourselves podcast.
Talk Amongst Yourselves podcast.
Give that a little plug.
Yeah.
Check it out at Talk Amongst Pod on like every platform. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple. You guys go check it out.
You guys mainly refer to like the everyday life.
Oh yeah, probably if you want to know what it's about. No, find out yourself, innit? No, yeah, just things that you see in the news, things that's going on,
current affairs.
Yeah, little random things that we think of. It's mainly just complaining about things, It's mainly just complaining, which this is gonna be like a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a nice change of pace. This is appreciation.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for joining us at Retroholics. What are we talking about today?
Well, I think maybe your T-shirt, maybe
a big giveaway.
Maybe the hat is a little bit of a giveaway.
We're talking about one of the greatest cartoons of all time.
You already know.
X-Men, the animated series.
Woo!
Memories don't live like people do.
I'm telling you that.
Do you know who produced that? Composed
Yes,
that
I
theme
do.
song?
Ron Wiseman.
And did you know what else he composed?
He
What
did
about iconic
He
TV
did
shows?
about 100 different things for Saban. To be fair,
Yes.
everything that Saban and his missus put their name to,
Yes.
Ron.
100%.
Ron, listen. Let's get into Saban for a minute. Saban is an enemy of progress. What a self-righteous degenerate that this man is, man. Ruined Power Rangers, nearly cost us X-Men animated series. I think. Like, he's literally, he was just about himself, he's about his peas. I think he's top 300 richest men in the world, and we know why, but
on the other side, he did bring those things as well. Like, he lived long enough to see himself become a villain. Like,
he was a villain from the beginning, though. He was a villain from the beginning, is my point. Like, he didn't have any real interest, any heart in the product that he was doing. He was just like, what's the next money? Like, it was stocks and shares to him. And that's my point. He was dealing with our hearts, pretty much, and he dashed them to the side wherever money was involved.
Yeah.
No,
so that's fair.
Ron Wiseman. He also did the theme for Power Rangers. So as
Power Rangers, yeah.
He did X-Men and Power. That's two iconic themes there. Man.
Two iconic themes.
Iconic.
I know my man just sat by the phone waiting for the next call. He's like, hey, he's like, yeah, I got a little something else for you. He's like, don't worry, I'm ready.
That's it.
Stayed in work.
And like, obviously, we know the legal battles when they brought back X-Men. There was legal battles over the theme tune. And Ron just sits quietly in the background. He doesn't care. He was happy with the experience that he had at Saban. What a legend. We salute you
because
for your efforts.
The revamp of the theme song in the X-Men 97 is by two different composers now, isn't it?
So basically, the issue was that some European TV show came out of the woodwork and said, yeah, you ripped us off.
Right.
Oh.
So they took the whole Disney corporation so that was Fox, Marvel, everyone underneath that umbrella was taken to court by them. And then Saban, of course, enemy of progress, money man that he is, he was like, you you need to write me a new check as well. Like, so
he got involved?
Yeah, of course. He was like,
course,
I need a new check if you're gonna use the theme tune. So both of them got undisclosed. Disney just got out the bank book.
Wow.
Wrote that check behind closed doors. We don't know what was said. It was basically that was actually part of what Saban asked for. He was like, it has to be re-recorded, and whenever it's used in any kind of in the movies, anything in the Marvel, you have to put by Saban and what was his wife called?
I don't remember her name.
Suki, how could I?
Yeah, Suki.
How could I forget? But Suki and Haim. So Saban and his missus have to be credited every time that's used on any kind of Marvel.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, we are talking about the making of X-Men, the animated series today. But before we do that, I just want to ask Marvyn some questions.
Yeah,
his cartoon love for cartoons. We always ask guests every time they're on the pod their top 5 cartoons of all time, animated series, whatever you want to call it.
Top 5 animated series. Okay. Like, so first off, like, do I include anime in this, or are we just going for Western?
It's totally up to you, man.
Okay. I mean, all right. So X-Men is there already.
Nice.
Then clearly Batman is following close on its heels.
Yeah. Doesn't need to be in order. I think.
Oh, no, I can't give you order.
Exactly. Just
Pick it between children, bro.
Exactly.
That's Sophie's choice.
Exactly. Just give us a top 5.
After that would be Bleach. The anime series Bleach.
Yeah.
Love that to death.
Have you watched the comeback?
I have not watched the comeback yet because I'm rewatching the original.
Nice.
I've never seen Bleach, you know.
You've never seen Bleach?
Top 5 dead or alive
bro.
animes of all time.
You recommend I get involved?
I didn't realize this, but it's considered one of the big 3 now. Like it's Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. I didn't realize that. I thought Dragon Ball Z was the big 3. But
Dragon Ball Z is good for the Westerners. Anyone that's seriously into manga.
Yeah.
Okay, Dragon Ball is cool.
Like, try out Bleach, man.
Oh, Bleach is for me. Nothing else touches it. Like I enjoy other animes, but nothing else comes close to the enjoyment I have.
I mean, like, I don't want to get into arguments straight away, but like, the Bleach is bottom of the top 3 for me. It's great. Naruto for me will always be number 1, then One Piece. Then Bleach.
I will tell you, I've never watched One Piece, and I do not like. There's too many episodes. One day, maybe when I'm retired,
I've got
time. There's
so
too many episodes of One Piece for me to watch.
I think just get into it. Just start it. Like, for me, like, I was just like, One Piece sounded ridiculous to me initially when I was a kid. Yeah. And, my friends were trying to push it on me. I was like, pirates? Are you crazy?
Yeah, what are you doing?
That sounds mad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm on Naruto, sticking with ninjas, and then, Bleach close second.
Yeah.
And then I think I was ill once, and I found out, I just said, oh, look, I got some time. Let me just start this. And yes, I didn't sleep for like 3 days.
Wow,
just binge. It's so good.
All right.
It's top tier.
I'm gonna get sick and then I'll watch it.
That's your 3.
That's 3. Number 4, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes, sir.
Which one? The original 80s or the 2003?
No, the original 80s. The original 80s. Yeah. Like,
did you watch the 2012 one? That was really good.
No, I did. I did. Just, I mean, that for me, earliest memory. And I had like series 1 or something like that on VHS. I just remember the light blue cover, and I could watch that anytime I wanted. Right. I wasn't at the mercy of Saturday morning cartoons. I could watch that anytime I wanted. I had that, and side note, I had RoboCop, the animated series, on VHS as well. Did you watch that? Because I don't think nobody watched that.
No, I knew about it. I didn't watch it religiously. I saw like maybe 1 or 2 episodes.
I mean, it's not good, but as a kid, everything's good to you, innit?
Yeah.
It was at my aunt's house, and she'd never let me take it home, so I could only watch it when I went to hers. But number 5 now. Interesting, because those ones, like, straight off the bat, but a 5th one, I mean, you got like, because then you got Thundercats, you got He-Man.
If you had to choose, you're on a desert island, you have to choose between the 2. Only one could stay with you on the island.
Thundercats.
Yeah,
Thundercats.
I have to agree with that.
Yeah, it has to be Thundercats.
That's a good top 5.
That's a strong, very strong.
I'm
top
happy
five.
X-Men was in your top 5 because that's our subject. For today. let's talk
Imagine
about.
I was like, nah, don't like it. Never
Let's
watched
talk
it.
about X-Men. Before we actually talk about the cartoon, let's talk about the origins that Marvel had in the comics. I know you were a massive fan of the comics, man. I think we all kind of were.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely. So I think it all began by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee.
Yep.
They created X-Men, and basically it was more like college. They're all like school kids at that time.
Yeah.
So it was Beast,
Yep.
Angel.
Angel,
Jean Grey,
Jean
Marvel
Grey,
Girl at the time.
Marvel Girl at the time. Well done. Iceman.
Yeah, Bobby.
And then
Cyclops.
Cyclops.
And obviously Xavier and the Helm.
Yeah,
School.
no,
And
exactly.
Brotherhood
exactly.
and Magneto.
And Brotherhood Mutants was the villains.
Yeah, yes.
And so basically at that time they were kind of done how everyone's got their powers so overdone, like you know, atoms, this and that, and so they actually wanted to just strip it down and say, okay, look, this is just genetics. You're born this way. You have your powers from birth.
I did see someone say that Stan Lee was just, he was over. He's like, I'm tired of coming up with backstories. I don't want to have to come up with backstories for every character no more.
And so funny, like obviously such a throwaway thing, and a lot of Stan's stuff is a lot of throwaways that becomes iconic. But like just the idea of that of mutants, obviously is one of the awesome things that's integral to the X-Men lore that we love.
Obviously, those comics came out in the 60s, so that's in the middle of the civil rights.
Yeah.
So they used a lot of the civil rights tropes.
Yeah.
Themes
and used that for the X-Men. So humankind hated mutants just for being born mutants.
And then they had the idea of the concept of Professor X being like Martin Luther King. And
that's heavily
that was
debated.
That was retconned later.
And Magneto being Malcolm X.
Yeah. So no. Like basically,
at the time it wasn't.
At the time it wasn't. Obviously, they definitely, undeniably drew for them. Whoever's trying to argue that online, they're lying to themselves.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But what became like a argument is that Xavier was based on Martin Luther King, and Magneto was based on Malcolm X. That is not true.
That's not true. Yeah.
Later on, I think Stan Lee did say, they represent them in a lot of ways, but not that they were based on those characters.
I guess you.
I would say I think that like the idea is it's like a classic dichotomy.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna have two people be like polar opposites, it's gonna be that. Yeah. So it kind of fit nicely, and later, Stan Lee was just like, oh no, yeah, because he loved the tall tale. He made up so many stories. He loved the tall tale, innit? So he loved the tall tale.
So I heard, doing my research, I heard that the comics wasn't selling as well. It's like there was like doing a lot of reruns in the 60s, right?
Yeah.
And then, but they figured out internationally, it was selling quite well. So the comics were selling quite well in, I don't know about Egypt, but like in Canada, in Europe, the European market, it was selling quite well. So that's why it got revamped in the 70s and had an international cast. So they can kind of appeal to the international market.
Because obviously they brought in Sunfire,
Banshee,
Storm, Colossus,
Tomahawk. Thunderbird.
Thunderbird.
Sorry, Tomahawk. That's Tomahawk is Street Fire, isn't it? Yeah. Thunderbird. Although those Sunfire and Thunderbird didn't last very long.
Yeah.
I mean, Thunderbird. I remember Thunderbird.
Did he not die? And his brother came back.
His brother
came in,
and then his brother was in X-Force. But he
was kind of Wolverine before Wolverine, like the hothead of the group. Yeah.
Wolverine being from Canada, Colossus, Russia,
Kenya for.
Is Egypt or Kenya?
Kenya.
But then it changed it to Egypt.
She was born in Kenya, but I think she grew up on the streets of Egypt.
I see.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was Kenyan.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. She looks more Kenyan.
Yeah. Exactly. You see when you see her.
Yeah.
But
and Nightcrawler being German.
And
Oh yes, of course. Yeah. Can't forget him.
So that was basically the Chris Claremont run, and he basically revolutionized the storytelling of X-Men. So all the lore that he basically put in place for the next 16 years is basically what the movie is based on, what all the movies kind of draw from, what the cartoon draw from, or his run. That's how important his writing was. And you know, when he left, it wasn't the same ever again, to be fair. But
it took a long time for anybody else.
So he's the one that came up with the Phoenix Saga.
He did Phoenix Saga, Dark Phoenix Saga.
Even Days of Future Past?
Days of Future Past. That's all Chris Claremont.
Great
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Like literally anything that is iconic about the X-Men came from Claremont, I would say. He's the one that introduced the lineup as we know it. Like again, if you go to the animated series, he revamped the lineup. I think if I remember rightly, again, it's been a long time, like, because I think he took Jean Grey out and then brought her back later or something like that. Right. And then he created Kitty Pryde.
He created Kitty Pryde.
And even that stupid little dragon that she has, he created that too.
Probably,
I don't know actually. It's a good point. I don't know.
Stupid, man.
But Jim Lee created a character as well.
He created Jubilee and Gambit.
And Gambit. Thank you. Yes.
We'll get to Jim Lee in a minute.
Yeah.
All right. So that's good. So thank you guys for letting me. I mean, I kind of knew that.
Yeah.
That's also
that's giant size. And that was
giant size
X-Men.
Giant size X-Men.
Now, in terms of animation back then, the only time X-Men was in an animated series was maybe a cameo in Neymar back in the 60s.
Yeah, so Submariner series, which I kind of have fond memories of. Obviously, it was reruns when we were watching it, but I had fond memories of it. But the only reason that it was X-Men was because Hanna-Barbera had the rights to Fantastic Four. That's right. You know, X-Men didn't really deal with Namor back in those days. Yeah. in the comics anyway. Yeah. So they just rewrote that story to have like a superhero team in there. And
then obviously Iceman was borrowed for Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, which X-Men did make a little cameo appearance in. Yeah. And I think Wolverine had an Australian accent.
No, was that was the Pride?
No, but also in the episode of Spider-Man, he had an Australian accent.
You might be right.
And then
you might be right. I'm not sure.
Shout outs to Margaret Loesch, who was
Leash
Loesch or Leash?
Leash or Lesh.
She was champion for X-Men to have its own series back then.
She used to work. Thank you.
She used to work for Marvel Entertainment then.
She's a legend.
She brought
RoboCop.
Yes. So she was the one that pitched the Pride of X-Men.
Yeah. Yes, she did.
And they did the little pilot of that. Yeah. 1 episode pilot. Looked really good. Looked exactly like the comic.
Fantastic.
Looks a bit like G.I. Joe animation.
I mean, it was the same studio that did Transformers and G.I. Joe.
Yeah. And those were kind of the flagships at that time. Like those were the cartoons at the time.
Yeah. It looked great. Yeah. But if you look at that episode, it's quite campy. It's not the X-Men we got in the 90s. It's totally not. So I think everything happens for a reason. And I'm glad that didn't work out. Because
I think we debate this off camera quite a lot.
No, bro, it's campy,
Pride of X-Men is a classic.
No, it's not.
It's a classic.
It's not.
I rinsed out that VHS so much that I broke the VHS.
Did you hear the theme song they had?
X-Men.
I'm not watching it for sick. I meant to rewatch it coming here and I did not.
No, fire.
It didn't live long with me. It
exactly.
didn't sit long with me.
Exactly.
It didn't sit long with me.
I loved it.
But again, I think by the time I saw it, I'd already watched X-Men the animated series.
Okay.
By the time I think it's because of that I was like,
for you it's different because
that was all you had to cling on to.
Okay, yes, that's what I was gonna say.
That's why you got a different thing for it.
No, 100%. If you had X-Men the series and then you went back to the Pride of X-Men,
then you understand.
It's a different beast.
Okay,
that's all I had of X-Men animated
at that
to that level, and I loved it. Like that got rinsed.
Well, big up Margaret because. So obviously that didn't work out. That pilot didn't work out, and she was very frustrated with Marvel. Marvel didn't have the financial backing to kind of support.
They're on the verge of bankruptcy.
That was when they sold everybody off.
That's right. But in the early 90s, I think maybe 1990 or whatever, she landed a job in Fox as one of the head honchos. And she said, we are going to stick the landing with this X-Men animated series. And she made sure this was a bona fide classic. So yes, and that's when we got X-Men the animated series.
Definitely.
Which I will throw something out there might be the best adaptation of anything that in terms of source material to a different medium. I don't know anything that does it as well. Because obviously it's not 1-to-1, but you can't, because a comic is not a television show, is not a movie. But in terms of faithfulness, especially with the audience it was aimed at, didn't shy away from it. I think it's one of the most best adaptations of any work of media.
I'll throw it out there if you haven't seen it. Then Avengers: Mightiest Heroes is actually the best comic adaptation.
Very good.
Or animated series.
Okay.
If you haven't seen it,
no, I don't think I watched Mightiest Heroes. Though.
Yeah, because it came out a bit later on.
2012.
Yeah.
That came out before this new Avengers cartoon came. Before they revamped the Avengers cartoon to look like the films.
Oh yeah, let me see the animation style.
You have seen it, Marvin. I swear you have. But I kind of agree with Marvin. I think X-Men. I think that is they just didn't shy away from reproducing what was written in the comics into that, and they had to go through a lot of challenges to make this animated series.
Oh yeah.
Big up to Julia. Yeah, you've seen that.
Yeah.
Big up Julia Leewald and Eric Leewald, who were the showrunner and the producer, showrunner and writer of the animated series. While the production was going on, they were a married couple. They had like a 9-month-old child at the time, or whatever. They were put through the ringer with setbacks after setbacks. Like the executives, Fox was not playing. They were playing hardball with this series. Like they didn't know what they wanted. It's like they wanted the X-Men series to be successful, but then they didn't want it to be too dark. They told them to rewrite some of the scripts halfway through production. Yeah. And they still had to meet the deadlines. Yeah. They were told to make sure that the government wasn't depicted as bigots. They were like, oh, they're a government of people that make mistakes, but they're not people that hate mutants.
The whole characterization.
That's the whole
exactly.
Like the government are bigots.
Yeah. And one of the biggest hurdles they had to go through, which was really crazy to me, is at that time in 1992, that was the same year that Jim Lee left Marvel with Todd McFarlane.
With Todd McFarlane.
With Ian Ryfield.
Rob Liefeld.
They all formed Image Comics. Yeah. And then, Marvel was being petty. They told that after they'd already done the production and a lot of the animation and maybe done even a couple episodes, they told them, we don't want the look of these characters to look anything like Jim Lee. And told them to scrap all the Jim Lee's.
I didn't know that.
Like, this is during the production. Like, they're hitting the deadline. Told them, no, we want you to redo X-Men. And because Jim Lee's left, none of these characters could look like anything like Jim Lee. And maybe even scrap Gambit, maybe even scrap Jubilee because they're Jim Lee creations.
Wow.
And if you look at it, the X-Men designs at that time, Jim Lee was influential for how Cyclops looked, how Jean Grey looked, the new white suit that Storm was wearing. Obviously, Beast was blue before, so they could have kept blue. Wolverine had the iconic yellow and blue suit before, so that's fine.
Yeah, he was.
But that means there would be no Jubilee, there would be no Gambit. It's crazy. So the animators were so upset. Big up to Larry Houston. They were so angry about this whole thing. They ended up redrawing the X-Men design, but they look like Hanna-Barbera, 80s, old 60s, like very exaggerated. And then they submitted it, and then the executives looked at it, and then another person on the board was like, What's this? Why are they looking at this? And then had to go at the guy that told them to change the style. And then they had to revert back to the Jim Lee original style.
I love little stories like that where people
like,
what are they thinking? What are they thinking, man? It's crazy. But that's all in this book here. The art of making of the animated series of X-Men. So
I'm gonna pick up my copy.
This is a great book. It's a great book. I would definitely recommend it. But yeah, let's talk about the animated series, man. I mean, we are talking about it, but let's actually officially talk about. I'm gonna come to you first, 3-4, and then we come to you, Marvin. You already said that you were so excited when the Pride of X-Men came out. Yeah. And you had that on the VHS. So
if you know what that is, Google it.
So when the animated series finally arrived on network television for us, where were you? Do you remember that? Do you have a vivid memory? What was the first episode you watched? I have a memory, and I want to ask you the same thing, Marvin. So I'll give you a little time to think about it.
Yeah, go on.
Damn, no, I can't remember the first episode that I watched. One thing I just remember clearly was having the Phoenix Saga visualized for us kids or comics nerds was so bonkers, man. That was like, Phoenix Saga, bro. The Phoenix Saga, bro. The Phoenix Saga. Like, I think we were shocked that they'd go that far as well because it's quite a deep thing. You know, there's a lot of trauma involved in that, and death at the end of the day. Yeah. So the fact that they did that and did it so well, I just remember that, you know, us nerds were eating well for sure. Yeah.
Marvin?
I'm gonna be honest. Before the animated series, I wasn't messing with the X-Men.
Really?
I had only just got into comics maybe earlier that year, around that time. My first comic was, I think 92, 93. There was a thing called Spider-Man Adventures that was based off of the Spider-Man animated series. So basically, Spider-Man animated series comes out, it's doing well. It was like, let's throw around the comics out. I think I was obviously, you know, live and kicking or whatever on a Saturday watching it. Went in the shop, I bought a Spider-Man. I'd known about Spider-Man from my uncle was a big comic book fan. He had Spider-Man, he had X-Men, he had Fantastic Four and stuff, but Spider-Man, Batman, Fantastic Four were his guys. So I really messed with X-Men. So my first real taking notice of them was the animated series. And from the animated series, then going on to I want to say Essential X-Men, but I think that came a couple of years later, maybe. But those were my early days. So yeah, for me, the animated series was kind of my Bible of what I knew about X-Men, which is why I can appreciate how kind of faithful it was to the source material. Because when I finally got around to reading those stories, I was like, oh wait, I already know this. I do know this, and stuff like that. Like. So yeah, I think for me, my earliest memory of the animated series was Age of Apocalypse, with the Four Horsemen. I remember Angel, like there was something about those blues and purples. I was like, this guy looks serious.
Yeah.
When Apocalypse turned him into the Four Horsemen.
When he
turned into Archangel.
And I was just like that. Yeah, when he turned into Archangel. Like that was what caught my eye. Was Archangel was really the first thing that caught my eye in the X-Men series. I was like, man, shooting the tips and the darts from his wings. I was like,
I'm glad you mentioned Live and Kicking, because that would have been my because so I vividly remember my brothers, because obviously I've got a lot of brothers. So I had two older brothers who I used to like kind of copy everything they did, and they were into X-Men. And they were very excited. They're the one that told me, there's going to be an X-Men cartoon coming out. And then we were all excited watching in the front room. And it was Philip Schofield. And he was with Gulliver.
Yeah.
And he had like a green jumper. And he said, coming up next, this is the outstanding, incredible cartoon, X-Men the Animated Series. Guys, you got to make sure you watch this. And I just remember sitting down and watching it. And it was Night of the Sentinels. Yeah. And it was the episode where Morph dies. And Beast gets arrested. And I'm like, my mind is blown. I'm like, I've never seen a cartoon where somebody dies in the cartoon and another guy gets arrested, and the characters were so like just must watch. Like Gambit was already like badass. Everyone was a badass. Everybody was a badass. Everybody in that whole cartoon was
killers, robots, death.
Like you had characters like Wolverine, Trauma, Gambit just being slick and suave, and Cyclops being a bad.
Fractures within the team as well. Everything was smooth.
Rogue having her problems. Storm, claustrophobia.
Human initiative against mutants.
That's
like
it.
that, all in the first episode.
So Magneto with Holocaust memories.
Exactly. But the first, I remember, and I was back then. I was an avid VHS recorder. I recorded everything that I loved, and I remember recording the first X-Men episode. I really remember this. The first X-Men episode I ever recorded was the one with the Morlocks. Where they go down.
That's an early one that stuck in my head for me as well. The Morlocks was
and they
crazy.
were training, and then
Storm challenges
and Callisto, and they go down, and you see the dissension between Wolverine and Cyclops, because Cyclops and Jean was on a date, and then they go out, and then Wolverine. There was a thing where one of the Morlocks pretended to be Cyclops, and you had Wolverine come up with the claws and try to stab him, and
because he could smell him,
and you could tell it wasn't Cyclops. It was so sick, man. So sick.
Didn't realize this time. Obviously, you don't realize this at the time, but I remember later watching it though. The Morlocks was jokes to me, because the whole thing of the Morlocks was we are too disgusting to live in the real world
amongst humans. Yeah,
and like two of them looked mad. The rest of them was fine. The rest of them was fine. It was like two, maybe three of them that you was like, all right, cool, you can't get away with it.
Yeah.
The rest of them, I remember just rewatching it one time and just being like, There's nothing wrong with you.
you could blend in society. You're right.
Like there was I can't remember. What was the old woman, the mind control one?
Yeah. Covered in scorpions. Covered in scorpions.
Callisto herself is all right.
Remember Leech?
Leech had issues. There was Leech, the one with the slimy powers. Mudslide.
He had
grey skin.
Yeah. Who was a black guy, by the way? You could tell he was a black guy. You never saw it, but that was a black guy.
But yeah, what a series! Like one of the best till this day. I think I've got I always say this. My top 2 cartoons of all time is Batman the Animated Series #1 for me. Yeah. And X-Men the Animated Series. Those are my favorites of all time.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
I mean, if we talk about Simpsons, that's on a whole.
Simpsons is different.
We don't put that amongst this. That's just another tier on its own.
And I feel Simpsons got more bad than good now. Like the golden era of Simpsons but
the first 12 seasons of Simpsons is like the best TV show ever.
Yeah, but even then I would say 7 to 11 is absolute gold. 1 to 6 is good. It's really good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not even saying it's bad or it's mid. It's very good. 7 to 11 is the gold era, the golden. But you know, we'll
definitely do a Simpsons.
It's gonna be done.
But yeah, man, and the complexity of the characters. I know this all stems from the source material, which is the comics. But
but to having do that for a children's cartoon,
exactly,
children's cartoon is crazy.
And knowing that they had to fight against the executives wanting to dumb it down,
and
they didn't have it.
Toys,
they didn't have it.
Yeah, exactly.
But can you imagine what we have gotten if they were able to get free range creative control? Like it would have been such a great, like another level.
Yeah.
And obviously another thing they had to deal with budget constraints. You know, like a lot of episodes. Like so, the first 2 episodes were animated by Larry Houston. Shout out, black man, by the way. Shout out. Animated the first 2 series, and then in the first series he animated a lot. He animated all the series, but there were some episodes that had to get shipped to the Philippines and Korea.
This Korea,
for budget constraints.
I think what was the Akon?
Maybe it was Akon, and it was like it didn't look as good. It didn't look as good. So like the one with Lady Deathstroke didn't land for me because the animation wasn't as good. But then you had then you go into the Phoenix Saga and it looks amazing again. And then go back. The one with like one of my favorite cats, Iceman. The episode with Iceman, still a great episode, but would have been so much better. If it was animated by Larry Houston because it was
I always like, and his transformation from like looking normal to Iceman as well. It's always no, that's 100% true.
But they gave us the Phoenix Saga story. They gave us the Dark Phoenix
Saga. Yes.
Did you know that Beyond Good and Evil, the 4-part episode, that was supposed to be the end of the X-Men animated series, and they were gonna do a thing where Cyclops and Jean leaves, Storm leaves, and one more person leaves. Cyclops, Jean, Storm. I can't remember who else. They would leave, and then they would be replaced with Archangel, Psylocke, Shard, and Bishop. They were gonna come in. And maybe Xavier probably was gonna leave as well. But they told them not to do that because they were gonna give them a new 5th season, which we will get to. But who are some of your favorite characters in X-Men, and what were some of your episodes? So let's go with you, Marvin. Who was one of your favorite X-Men characters?
So my favorites from the start, I'd say Gambit was the very first one. Gambit was my first guy. Like, he was the coolest dude. Yeah. His power, the playing cards as well. There's something just cool about playing cards as well, stuff like that. And then there was Beast. Beast because, you know, when I got into Spider-Man, I was a big fan of Peter Parker. Not just Spider-Man, Peter Parker as a smart scientist. And then I had that again with Beast. I really liked. Full disclosure, I was not a Wolverine fan in my early days.
Really?
I was not a Wolverine fan in my early days. I would go as far as to say maybe I disliked him. I'm like, this guy, you're just getting in the way. Like, stop trying to hit on the next man's goal. Like,
when he punched Cyclops in the chest, but that was because he thought Cyclops let Morph to die.
But then also, I'm just like, all right, cool, you got trauma, bless. I don't mean you can keep running around and messing up everything. Like, this is
he had heart,
team here.
He had heart.
No.
He came through the end.
And by the end, I was fully on board the Wolverine train. I was.
I'll tell you when I was bored, because I used to be a bit like, when I first watched it, and I was like, Wolverine's being a bit disruptive to the team. He's like, does his own thing. He's breaking the rules. I was like, I don't know about this guy. But one bit that won me over with Wolverine is when he's on top of the Sentinel. This is when after they killed Morph.
Yeah.
And he gets his claws and he goes, "This one's for you, Morph." Stabbing up the neck, and I was like, "Yes!" That's what happened to Wolverine. That's what Wolverine got me forever.
You know, I don't even know when it was he got me. I just remember I used to laugh. There's bare times when my man would come out of a snappy line and then get whacked in his face, and I'd be like, yes. I feel like there's one, I can't even remember what the one's always. There's one where he says something to Omega Red, and Omega Red just paps him across the face, and I was like, so what was the point of that? But no, Gambit was my main dude. But also, when Bishop came along, and you know, it's probably legendary. You know, it's probably the black. It was the black thing as well. Like,
but
he was a sick character.
But it was important though,
He
because
was cool.
back then, most of the time you just get a token black character. And one cool token black character.
Yeah. But I mean, we had Storm. Storm was there again.
No, and Storm was
Love Storm.
She was
Love
bigger
Storm.
than she was an outstanding character, but. This show had Bishop. It had more options. You know, you had more people. So it was great.
Bishop was there. Forge was about like
a missionary from
missionary. Like
Then you had Shard at the end, towards the
Don't
end of
forget
the season.
Shard,
Shard at the end, so.
Although, what's his name? The one, and they did dirty. Hairball. What's his name? What's my guy's name?
Oh my God! When they started doing the
Jamaican accent.
Yeah, Sinister's villains.
Sinister, yeah, you know.
Oh,
Sinister
the Nasty Boys.
Nasty Boys.
Was it the Nasty
and
Boys?
then there was
his name's Hairball, isn't it?
It was, yeah, because there was a scene where he knocks
Wolverine
over
goes-
Wolverine. Wolverine
was
goes,
like, get out the way, you
Hairball.
hairball. How you know my name, man?
You making fun of me? Nobody make fun of airbag. It's
Hairbag. That's it, hairbag.
You don't kick a man when he's down, hairbag. Who told you my name? You making fun of me? Nobody makes fun of hairbag.
I was like, even in my young years, I was nah.
Let's talk about the voice cast though. Like Norm Spencer as Cyclops, rest in peace, Norm Spencer. Like Cyclops, Cal Dodd as Wolverine. They were all Canadian.
Because Cal Dodd's like an Irishman.
Is he Irish?
Cal Dodd, I swear he's an Irishman.
That lives in Canada, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what? It might be one of them ones he moved to Canada when he was like 2 or something like that.
Cedric Smith as Professor X. Lenore Zan, who still plays Rogue today.
Yes,
Rogue.
yeah.
Catherine Disher as Jean Grey. Chris Potter as Gambit. George Boozer.
Beast.
Beast.
That's my guy, George Boozer.
Alison Court as Jubilee. Yes. Alison Seeley Smith as Storm.
Yes, yeah.
Shout outs to John Colisios, I think it's pronounced his name right, as Apocalypse, one of the best voice casts ever.
Again, still the only viable Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Still the only viable like outside of the comic books Apocalypse.
Christopher Britton as Mr. Sinister. Who did Magneto? That's what I need to figure out. David Hemblin.
But did you hear
great voices, man? Great voice cast.
the story? So basically, they originally had the first episode all voice, all mic'd up and done, and the voice artists that they'd used were going for some cartoony, childish nonsense.
And they had to get rid of them.
Yeah, they said no, this is not the vibe at all. And so they went, got proper theatre.
Proper,
yeah.
Because you could, the way they delivered the lines, like look at Cyclops and Storm, like in particular, I always see like the majesty of it.
Do you guys remember what episodes come to your head when I talk about X-Men? Any episodes?
Like I say, the Four Horsemen always lives with me.
So when you say the Four Horsemen, you mean the one where Apocalypse is in Scotland?
I mean, what was it? That was like a 3-part, wasn't it? I mean, the whole thing, like, what was it? It was 3 parts.
Oh, you mean the Beyond Good and Evil? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, you starts off with when they come up with what's the doctor's name? What's the
Dr. Adler. Dr. Adler.
Yeah,
it's Muir Island.
So they're on Muir Island.
So that's two episodes.
Dr. Adler's not letting nobody in, and it's Mystique really.
Yeah.
That was 2 episodes. That was 2 episodes.
It was 2. Is that end of season 1?
That's season 1.
Yeah, end of season 1.
And they introduced Pyro and Avalanche and the and Mystique was working
English
with
Pyro
Apocalypse.
for some reason.
Apocalypse was incredible in that episode.
Apocalypse was incredible.
In every episode he's in, he's incredible.
Yeah.
And that's a really good episode. And then it starts off with Angel having a date.
Angel's there.
He's having a date in his nice little penthouse.
And Cable comes in.
And then Cable comes in and they have oh my
Cable starts
God.
like, where's Dr. Adler?
Yeah. And then there was one bit where Angel said something to Gambit, to Cable, if you're gonna come at me, you're gonna have to have a good shot. And he tries to shoot at Cable, right? And then he misses it, and Cable shoots him, and he falls. And Cable goes, You need to learn to take your own advice.
And then he gets up and then his goal shoots him.
Yeah,
and then he
amazing.
flies off and he cries. But
Days of Future Past, another great.
Days of Future Past,
Yeah,
amazing.
with
Amazing.
Bishop
Yes.
and Cable and Bishop coming back into. I'm glad they swapped out Kitty Pryde and had Bishop in it. Kitty Pryde wasn't in the series at all.
No, Kitty Pryde.
She was not in
wait,
it.
hold on.
No, she wasn't.
Because you know, one of the other things is they love the little cameo. They love to show
Yeah.
Like
They love
quick
a cameo.
shot.
They love a
All
cameo.
you see is you're like, I
don't think Kitty Pryde ever made a cameo either.
Maybe not.
Because obviously Jubilee was the
maybe not.
replacement.
Yeah, Jubilee was
And then obviously, and
Do you
then
know what? I loved Jubilee as well.
Yeah.
I
Very good.
loved
So
Jubilee.
very good.
One of my, I guess we'll talk about the movies a little bit later. One of the things I really disliked when in the first movie, I was just like, there's no Jubilee.
Yeah.
One of my favorite episodes, I'm gonna get it up here.
Yeah.
Is when Gambit goes back to
The Thieves versus
New Orleans.
the Thieves versus the
Yes,
Assassins.
yes, with the tithe.
the tide.
Yeah, the Tide, because his brother.
Externally yours.
Externally yours. Externally
One of my
yours.
favorite
Yes.
episodes.
Yeah, that's really.
Because that was the name of the
That's really
external.
good.
That's
Yeah,
the
external, the
yeah,
beautiful.
external.
She was black as
She
well.
was black as well. Yeah,
Like
yeah,
a goddess
yeah.
creature, and she had the tide.
Yeah.
And it was the thief of guilds against the assassin.
Yeah, the
That's
Guild of
it,
Thieves.
that's
Oh,
it.
Guild of
Assassins.
Thieves.
Yeah.
And the brother
yeah.
and the dynamic with Gambit's ex-wife and
because he abandoned her, didn't he? He abandoned her.
With
Water.
Such a great
and then
episode.
They took her
man.
power at the end. No, it was, it
another
was, it
Caribbean
was.
reference in that episode as well.
You
thieves too
thieves
stupid
too
to check the
stupid to
box.
check the box.
You're not gonna tell ya.
Do you know what? They went in hard with them Cajun
So the
accents, you know.
Cajun accent.
But none of them matched. Some of them wasn't pronouncing the THs. Some of them
Nah,
was.
it was great.
You know what? It was
great.
good though.
It
It
was
was good.
great.
It was great. Yeah. With, was it Bobby? Is that his brother's name? Is it Bobby?
Yeah, Barbie. They're gonna
Barbie.
kill Barbie.
Barbie.
But the season 1 and season 2 for me, chef's kiss. No,
Oh no, 100%.
no
100%.
problem. Season 3 was good. It just had a few issues with some of the episodes.
But I think the heights of, you got Dark Phoenix is in season 3. That kind
Dark
of saves
Phoenix,
it.
Phoenix Saga. There was a classic episode of season 3 where Angel's so obsessed with defeating Apocalypse. Like he gets so obsessed.
With the ship, with Beast
And
basically
he
falls in love with
sabotages
the
the
ship.
ship. And,
Because they catch him in the force field. I'm like, my brother, what are you
Angel
doing?
he ruins
What are you
it.
doing? They've
Such
got
a great
him.
episode.
Yeah.
Such a great episode.
Again, man just driven by
Apocalypse
rage.
lines on the Apocalypse had his line on Beast, yeah, because Beast catches him in some force field, and Apocalypse says to Beast, how many people have dreamed of my end? You are no closer than the Babylonians with the swords and their fire sticks. What a line!
Right, it was the bad
He
boy
has
line.
so much Apocalypse
bars.
lines are the best.
There was the other one, the other line that I liked. It says is like, I am as far beyond mutants
As
as they are beyond you.
I
Like,
am
he did have
eternal.
those.
I am the shores.
Wait, no,
Yeah,
wait,
I
wait,
am
wait.
the shore. I am the rocks of eternal shores.
Shores, yeah,
Crash
yeah,
against
yeah.
me and be broken. He has so many lines, man. Even
They
when
went in.
when Cyclops finds his secret chamber in Egypt. Not Cyclops, Cable.
Cable, yeah.
And
yeah,
he says,
yeah.
oh, mutant, you dare defy Apocalypse again? Blasphemer! You defile my sacred chamber! Like, come on, man.
Nah, it was
It's
hard.
iconic, man.
What would you say? What was yours?
Yeah,
What was
episodes.
your big episodes? Like again, like somebody coming from the comics beforehand and the Pride of the X-Men and stuff. What really tickled you? What resonated?
I mean, like the whole Phoenix saga, beginning to end. I think doing a couple of episodes over time with a big payoff always worked really well in X-Men animated series. Like it was all good to have little standalone episodes, but when you had a big overarching arc like that,
Yeah, it was, and they weren't afraid to do it either. They
Yeah,
weren't
yeah,
afraid
exactly,
to do it.
exactly.
They were
And
like,
then-
we got to tell the story properly.
exactly, and something a little bit new, I think, for that time as well.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
many
yeah,
people were
yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
No.
So,
I think any episode that had Cable and Bishop in it and they were going back in time, it's like the best stuff ever. It was like movies.
It's the best stuff ever, but it was also bare lazy because they would just because they were going back same again. So they just reused
but some of
animation.
the- No, but some of the writing was very very good.
No, the
writing.
storylines
Yeah,
were
yeah,
great.
yeah.
The storylines were
Did
great.
you
But
know-
sometimes they just replay whole scenes, and I'm sitting there like, I saw this already.
Did you know the episode on season 4? I think it was 4 or 3. I think it was 3 or 4. I can't remember. Where it's called a one man's worth. This is the
That's
episodes
4, I
where
think.
Bishop goes back with Shard, goes back in time to stop Nimrod.
Oh,
assassinating
Charles
Xavier.
Charles Xavier.
A young Charles Xavier in college, right?
Oh no, the college one. Sorry,
Yeah,
I was thinking of when he tried to assassinate Thingy and Kelly. When that was Mystique, though. That was Mystique. Sorry,
But
yeah.
it was Nimrod.
No, you're right.
It was
You're
Phantom.
right.
And what was the name of the guy with Phantom with the green hair? They were trying to kill Xavier.
Fisk or something.
Not
Fitzroy.
Fitzroy.
Wait.
Come on.
Yeah.
Fitzroy. So they go back in time when Xavier's in his college years.
Yeah.
Tried to kill him, right? And then Bishop had to go back and stop it, right? And then Storm and Wolverine were an item and all that.
Oh, I remember them.
Did you want to hear something
Not like that.
interesting that I learned from this book?
What's that?
Tell me.
Those episodes influenced the Age of Apocalypse comics.
Really?
So that came out after those episodes. At the time, I don't know why I thought that those episodes were made because of Age of Apocalypse.
100%.
Well, you would think so. Naturally, that's
But no,
what
it was
think,
it's kind of like the Batman Harley Quinn thing. It's like the cartoon inspired the comics to make Age of Apocalypse.
I mean, same with Morph.
That's crazy.
Morph wasn't in the comics. He was created just for the show.
Yeah.
And then obviously the success of him, he's now like Law, he's part of the comics.
He's part
But
of the
they
comics,
smashed
he's
it
been
because they did a great way of doing because he's kind of loosely based off Changeling, wasn't he? Changeling from the 80s. So they just modernized him, made him a bit more human, and he changed him. Now he's only now in X-Men 97, but he's looking a bit more like Changeling, isn't he? With the
with his faces, with the eyes,
and
like not human, because I believe they not explain like that. That's how he's been showing himself to be accepted. I think it was the thing they said that he's been appearing as human all this time.
That's right.
That's right. Because they did something to do with his birth or something when he was something to do with when he was born, and so he's always made himself look like a human. I can't remember what the exact thing is.
I mean, he got tormented by Mr. Sinister throughout the series.
Tormented.
So it makes sense. It makes sense why he's where he is. Sinister destroyed him, boy.
Obviously, you dislike Apocalypse because he's the bad guy. But I still respected that man. As like
Same
here. I hated
Sinister was bad.
so
He's a
much.
bad
Don't
breed.
forget, Mr. Sinister is Jack the Ripper.
Yeah. He is.
He worked with Jack.
No, he was Jack the Ripper.
I thought he killed Jack the Ripper.
No, he was Jack the Ripper.
I thought because there's an episode called Descendant where I thought he's the reason why Jack the Ripper exists.
Yeah, but I think
it's
they watered it down.
Princess
They
Xavier's
watered
I think you're right.
They watered it down for kids, innit? They can't make him a serial killer.
He's the Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
And Professor Xavier's ancestor in the cartoon is the one that's trying to find
his great grandfather. Okay, that was the season 5. Let's talk about season 5 quickly because season 5, obviously the budget was severely slashed. They had to, animation changed up. Larry Houston left.
What about? Let's talk about the Enemy of Progress again, real quick. He slashed the writing fee by like $500, which was a lot for that time.
Yeah, for that time, of course.
$500 each episode. Each episode,
because he was just like, it's such a success. Yeah, you're lucky to be working on the show.
But it's the opposite of what you do.
It's crazy.
It's the opposite of what you do.
Right?
Exactly.
The price should have been going up. We know your value. We know your worth.
He's a POS, bro.
Rock Nation, you will crumble.
Seriously.
So that 5th season was not good.
Yeah.
But it had 3 standouts for me.
Okay.
The one we just talked about, Descendant, with the origin story of Mr. Sinister and the origin story of mutants in general.
Yeah. Yes.
The episode with Captain America and Wolverine in France fighting in World War I.
Yes. That banged.
And then the last episode where Henry Gyrick assassinates Xavier. He gets ill and he has to be taken to the Shi'ar
onto the Shi'ar ship.
And then he had the really emotional ending when he says farewell to his X-Men. There was a great episode because the great part of the episode where Magneto finally reaches his what's the word I'm looking for? It's like he's reached his moment and time where he's finally got the mutants on his side.
Time in the spotlight.
He can finally go and take over the government and do his thing, and then Cyclops and Jean and Wolverine comes up to him and says, "Listen, Xavier's dying, and we need you to help him bring your magnetic field to transport a mission." And Magneto goes, "But I've been waiting for this moment all my life." and then Cyclops goes, "Wouldn't he do it for you?"
Bro,
absolutely
gags him.
Absolutely gags him. And then they all cry, and Xavier does a beautiful speech at the end. Great ending.
Yeah. My children.
Great and my children, my X-Men.
My X-Men.
Great ending. And we will we had that cherished for 20 something plus years of having that memory, like one of the greatest cartoons of all time. And then in 2024,
Let's go.
they bring X-Men 97.
House of Mouse. Yeah.
And going into this, I was a bit worried because X is one of my favorite cartoons. One of my favorite cartoons.
Yeah,
Definitely.
same.
But
You
I
have
have
fool not to be.
100%. But I have to say, they did a great job.
So
Flawless.
good.
Yeah.
I
So
hesitate
good.
to use the word, but I think it's almost flawless.
I couldn't believe it.
I was a bit at the beginning, but only because they were taking their time, which was a good thing in the
Yeah,
end.
yeah,
They
definitely.
didn't try and just be like, nah, we're just gonna load it up and make you watch. Now they're like, nah, we got to lay the groundwork.
Yeah.
That's right.
And by the end, the progression, whew,
Oh, man.
So good. And like, we were talking about favorite characters from the original, and you guys are saying then like Wolverine, and you said
Gambit was mine. Gambit was mine.
And like I hated Scott Summers.
I love
Like,
Scott Summers, man.
Yeah, I
never-
know you're a slim boy.
he was a bit of a nerd to me.
That's
but
it, like
a
Leonardo,
do-gooder,
like,
a bit
I
of a-
just
yeah,
you
did
guys,
good.
man.
Leonardo vibes, it was.
Had no respect for Scott Summers.
Yeah.
I just wanted Wolverine to take his girl because he was a waste man. But come X-Men 97, Wow.
Handles his business. I think
Scott Summers came up. It was amazing to see him. Like he owned the series.
He did.
He was the
He did.
guy.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he was
Like,
the guy.
yeah.
I think it's kind of been the same in the comics. Like over the years, he's become a much more respectable figure. You've seen him; he's not afraid to put it down.
Yeah.
He makes every kind of telepath chick go in.
That's
true.
the thing, right?
like
Yeah.
something-
True.
there's something in his brain that's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
calling to them because
That's what he wants, man.
And and then ones where what was the runs where he goes off the rails, where he becomes the bad guy. Like,
Yeah.
You know,
Goes
when he
against
becomes
Charles and
militant, and
I can't
yeah,
wait. I
they
think
fleshed him out so much.
I feel MCU will do that as well. I think they're gonna start doing that as well.
You think the MCU? I mean, the MCU
Eventually we'll probably make him a bad guy as well when they
They
start doing the X-Men.
they could do anything with. They could do anything with them.
There's so
They could do
much-
any. There's
So
so
much
much
material
to
they
draw
got.
from.
It's gonna be good times, man.
And while it would be great to see some of the, we've seen the Phoenix Saga twice, and it's not been good either of those times. I don't know if I'd want to see them try it again, even if they could get it right.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
Yeah.
That's
X-Men
it.
animated series is giving that to me.
That's it.
I would probably prefer they tread the new ground on it. But 97,
Brilliant. I was shocked when they killed off Gambit. I was
I was
so
all in
shocked.
my feels.
I actually screamed, what? I screamed
Yeah,
that. I was
yeah.
actually kind of angry.
I didn't-
But then I love how they ended it. I love how they it's good.
It's a beautiful send off.
But also, he's going to come back, obviously.
Of course, and no one ever really dies.
He's
You
going to
believe
be a horseman. He's going to be a horseman
Yeah.
in the new series. He's going to be a fourth horseman.
Well,
Yeah.
You saw
we
Apocalypse
shall
at the
see.
end. No, but you saw him. He picked up a card.
Yeah,
Picked up
yeah,
the-
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
my mutant. I'm looking forward to it. Let's talk about films
Yeah.
and let's talk about video games.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk about video games first, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
Fun memories of X-Men video games, the arcade games. Remember those ones with Nightcrawler and Storm and
Okay,
Cyclops?
because
That was based on a new.
turn around and say to you, like, I never played the games, but I played the arcade
But you
game.
played the arcade-
you
you
must
must
have
have
played the
played
arcade game,
played the
The
arcade.
80s one, like
Definitely.
giant size
Marvel
X-Men.
superheroes after that was a beat 'em up.
Beat 'em up.
Yeah, the
I was
yeah,
more a
yeah.
beat 'em up guy,
Right.
but obviously what was it? Children of the Atom.
Children
was
of
that
the Atom.
The game was based off.
the
No, it was
game called?
It was called Children of the Atom. Yeah.
What was it? 2-player scroller.
That's right.
Was
Yeah,
the word I was trying to
yeah,
look
yeah.
for.
And there was a beat 'em up with obviously Capcom.
Yeah.
Capcom X-Men.
Yeah, Marvel versus Capcom.
Marvel Capcom. There was an X-Men beat 'em up game in 2000s.
Mm.
After
never
the
played
films.
that.
It was
Never
alright.
played that.
It's one of those things where you play it once, you get, this is cool, and then
And then you're done with
there's
it.
no
yeah.
playback.
No
value.
replay value.
No,
Yeah.
there's no replay value. You're just like,
Yeah, but that a lot of them games in the 2000s, especially ones that spun off from films, it was that, and they got so many corners with stuff, and like you say, you play it through once, kind of out of duty almost,
Yeah,
and then you're kind of done.
I'm looking forward to, because there is, I can't remember what company that does it, but they've been relaunching these old school arcade games. They've done it with Turtles recently.
Oh yes.
They've done it. They're doing it with Power Rangers.
I think they're doing it with
They better do it with X-Men.
with
man.
X-Men. Yeah.
They need to do it.
But
X-Men.
I think it's just the Capcom stuff though. So I think it's
just the
only the
license.
beat 'em ups. I'm not sure if they're gonna
It's a shame.
put in the
I want
yeah.
the old school.
You want the old
Bring
ones.
back the old.
Yeah,
bring
that would
back
be really cool.
Films. Let's talk about the films. Okay, so Marvin, were you a big fan of the films? X-Men?
Yeah, I was. I mean, at that point, I was taking anything.
Yeah, same.
Like,
here.
That's it.
I
That's it.
at this, obviously, I was, I remember the 90s Captain America, I remember the 80s Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren as the Punisher.
Yeah. We went through some hard times, man.
You know what?
The kids don't know today.
But I was grateful. I was grateful for the scraps they was feeding me.
Same,
I was grateful.
So was I.
But to see the X-Men, and again, at that point, I was a Wolverine guy by that point. And so to see him brought to life so very well. And just to see all those guys that I'd imagined in my head, and sat there for years imagining what it looked like to see them on a big screen. Who would play this one? I ain't getting none of the castings right, obviously, but but to see it in real life was an amazing moment.
Absolutely. I saw X-Men 1 in Trinidad.
Really?
Oh, wow.
So Trinidad.
Was it dubbed?
No, it was great. It was such a vibe. Like, because I was so excited to see it. I'm watching my brothers, and we went to Trinidad. I remember my cousin took us to the cinema, and you know how it is in the Caribbean. If you're watching films in the Caribbean, in the Caribbean, it's like everybody's going crazy.
Yeah.
There was that line where when Wolverine's talking to Jean, and then Cyclops appears, and then Wolverine turns to Cyclops and says, "You're gonna tell me to stay away from your woman?" And Cyclops says,
I have to do
if
that.
I have to do that, she's not
my
my woman. Everyone,
Just before he leaves the room, he's like, "Oh, by the way, stay away from my woman."
It's kind of ruined it, but yeah.
Sorry, James Marsden Cyclops just like James Marsden and Cyclops was an amazing
and they ruined
guy.
it.
Amazing
They
guy.
could have made that so much better, man.
I know. Do you know
1
what
and
the thing
2
was?
The third one was terrible.
Yeah, the third one was terrible, but also I believe he had some other commitments or something on the third one. Was it Superman?
Yeah.
So that's why they duffed him off for the third one.
But X-Men 1, good. X-Men 2, very good.
Yeah.
X-Men 3, not so good. X-Men Origins, Wolverine, not so good.
Origins.
The X-Men second Origins film, okay, where he's in Japan.
I like the second one. I think the second one. I think the second one one's very good. Yeah. I think
Wolverine
it's
Origins first
good.
one was terrible.
What was that?
First one was the one with will.i.am.
Yeah, and Gambit.
And Gambit. Oh God, terrible Gambit. Yeah, that was what turned me off of that one was the fact that they ruined Gambit.
But the second X-Men, the second Wolverine Origins was okay in Japan.
Yeah, very good Japan.
Samurai.
Yeah.
Then you had Logan, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
Then you had the X-Men First Class. That was good.
Justice for my boy Darwin.
Justice for Darwin. He's thing now, isn't it? Mr. Terrific now.
Yes, he is. Because I like the actor as well. I can't remember his name. Yeah, but bro, I mean justice for the character. How are you gonna do that? That felt racial. That felt like we gotta kill a black guy off here. Like it felt like the trope.
Keep the quota down.
Days of Future
Past, brilliant, amazing, very good.
And then
Apocalypse was the third
Apocalypse
one.
was terrible, and
Horrible.
Phoenix was terrible.
Apocalypse and Phoenix.
We had some great X-Men cameos in his new MCU. We've had Wolverine in the Wolverine Deadpool, Gambit.
We had high appropriate Wolverine. that was funny. Wolverine in his brown suit as well. I like that.
We had Magneto. We had Beast and Marvels. Magneto and Xavier. No, Xavier, not Magneto yet. Xavier showed up in Doctor Strange. But obviously now we've got the announcement of Doomsday when you have Xavier, Magneto,
Cyclops, open season,
Nightcrawler. Cyclops, I said, right?
Yeah. Beast. Sorry,
Beast.
The one thing that I loved about X-Men 3 was that I said because I always wanted Kelsey Grammer to be. I was a big fan of Frasier. I always wanted that brother to do the voice of Beast somewhere. The fact that they did him live action, I always wanted him to be the voice of Beast.
Yeah,
just
that was
the voice.
Yeah. And now he's back. And now he's back as the voice.
Yeah,
in the new
that
MCU.
for me, like perfect casting.
Yeah.
And obviously, we will see what the future holds for X-Men movies down the line with MCU, because obviously after Secret Wars, we're probably going to get a new
soft reboot.
It's going to be a soft,
which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. Are we going to get them? And this is the thing. Are we going to get them young? Because obviously, original X-Men movies, they were all adults. Then in the reboot, they were young-ish.
Yeah. I think late 20s. I think it needs to be late 20s. Late 20s, not young.
I don't even mind. It just needs to be, good casting and stuff.
Yeah.
But I just need to see those stories. Because then, we are opening. We've not seen a Mr. Sinister. Do they go with him? We've seen an Apocalypse. We've seen a Magneto.
No, but we have to see a good Apocalypse.
For me,
I know. But if they want to hit new ground.
If they really want to make it like last the next 10, 20 years and for mutants to be it, then they need to start from before Giant Size, I think. So
you think so?
Before Beast is blue.
It's blue.
Maybe.
But the thing is,
maybe. I don't know. I think that's a bit risky. I think it's a bit risky.
I feel like we don't.
That's a bit risky. But if you would,
we don't want that fatigue that you get.
I agree.
That you've had like Spider-Man, Superman, Batman. Retelling the origin story.
I agree. We don't want to do that
all the time.
But
like,
no one's told the origin story.
They have.
No. I mean, not faithfully.
Not faithfully.
Not faithfully, but we've seen it in the original X-Men. We've seen it it's not even the case of whether it matches up to the comics. The fact that people will be like, "Oh, we're starting from the beginning again."
Exactly. Exactly.
I would worry for that. That's what I would worry for. I agree with you, Marvin. But
what are we ranking X-Men the animated series? We do this. We're called Retroholics. We rank bears. So how many bears out of 5 are you giving X-Men the animated series?
I mean, it feels like too much of a gimme to do it, but it's 5 bears, right? It's 5 bears. I don't see the only gripes I ever have with X-Men is things watching later as an adult, and it's things that just really can't be avoided. You know, inconsistency in power sets. Yeah. You know, people being great. I hate the fact that every single time their men jump straight into the path of a laser. Stop doing that, you know. But it's things that are needed for the story, things that are needed to, make things progress how they are. Some of the, like you say, Apocalypse has great lines. Some of the X-Men don't have great lines, like the exposition-y stuff. But it's all kind of fluff that it doesn't ruin the heart of what it is. So there's nothing you can really cite as being wrong with it.
What would you rank yours, Abdul?
4.5.
4.5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going with a 4.
Okay.
Oh. And I'm going with, the only reason is I was gonna give it a 4.5. I'm going with a 4. Some of the production let it down. Some of the time constraints with the budgets and some of the episodes. So obviously season 1 and 2, like I said, chef's kiss.
But flawless. This is the thing for me.
But then some of the episodes is like.
Did you notice that when you watched it as a kid? Though?
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, then that's fair. Because the things that I've noticed on rewatches going through the years.
Still a great series. Don't get me wrong. I mean, 4 out of 5 is a great.
Yeah.
Is a
great.
No,
4 out of 5 is a great. 4
but I feel like. Going after the production value, I think that's a bit much. Because if the story's there, it doesn't matter.
Stories are brilliant.
If it's drawn like a stickman, it doesn't matter.
There's some stories,
right?
I think there is some stories.
The production value dropped enough. I think the production value, obviously, it is an important thing.
Yeah, it's important.
But for me, I'm not sure it dropped. Like you remember you were talking about the Lady Deathstrike. You don't like episodes.
With the green monster coming out of the
the monster
ship.
was crap.
Terrible.
The monster was crap, and that was cheap. But I liked Lady Deathstrike. Again, one of the things I have against X-Men 2 is I'm like, what did you do? Yeah. You ruined a great character that I love there.
But it's not even just about the production. It's just like season 5 is a terrible season, and that there's only 3 episodes of that season that I would rate. You know what I mean? So
that's
like,
fair.
So
that's
the reason why I'm giving it a 4.
Yeah. All right. You know what? 4.5. I'm go.
And then the voice, they changed Gambit's voice in season 5, and he's talking like this. It's really bad, and they had the perfect Gambit voice before, and that guy came back and did Cable, so in the X-Men 97. So.
Crazy.
But one of the greatest cartoons of all time,
without a doubt.
I enjoyed talking about it with you guys today.
I enjoyed being here.
Thank you for joining us, Marvin.
Thank you for having me. I love this. This was so much fun.
Please plug yourself on anywhere people can find you on your social media.
Yeah, like I say, at Talk Amongst Pod. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I think I ain't got threads there, but don't bother with that one. My personal accounts, I don't really do much, so there's no point. don't worry about them. But also check out, they have a football podcast that we're doing now called Red Devil Rants.
Nice.
United podcast. Catch that on Spotify.
Definitely need it because that man are trouble.
Bro, this is a television cartoon podcast.
You're right.
We're not to the topic.
Get to the topic. You're right. Free Thought. Where can people find you? As always.
Yeah,
should we just plug the Retroholics? Let's just plug it.
We are Retroholics.
We are Retroholics.
On all platforms. Yep. Twitter, Instagram,
TikTok.
IG, TikTok.
Big up the guys who follow us on TikTok. You guys support our stuff. A lot of our videos do some good numbers.
Yeah.
Now we're hoping, those are just like TV themes, but we're hoping you increase those numbers with this kind of footage that we're going to start uploading soon. So big up everybody that's on TikTok as well. Yeah, that's it. We're done? All right, that's us. Till next time.
Peace.
Dim.